The following is a presentation of TFNN. It is now time for Living a Primal Lifestyle with your host, Nico de Haan. And now, here's Nico de Haan.
Hi, folks. Welcome to Living a Primal Lifestyle. I'm Nico de Haan, and Paige Clark is off today. She's doing one of her seminars, so she will be back next week. And hope she's learning a lot of stuff so she can pass that on to you. It's a beautiful day here in downtown Clearwater. It's 66 degrees right now, and the sun is shining. And it's just going to be a fabulous weekend. It's a little drier than normal, and that's kind of nice. Remember, my phone number here is 877-927-6648. We also have an international number, 727-445-1044. Please pick up my Health Signals newsletter. We have issue 21 for the year out right now, and it's been out for about a week. Particular on page 10, I want to remind you to watch the Farmageddon movie. A real good movie about what's happening at today's farms. So it's a full-length feature. So just set that up on your iPad or your computer or even your Apple TV or whatever, and you can watch that. Also, some great articles about some natural antibiotics. I've got some great recipes in there. So please pick that up. Check it out on the web. There's a sample up there for you under newsletters. It's called Health Signals, and it's $10 a month. You get it free for the first 30 days. And after that, it's only $10 a month. 2 issues each month for only $10. Perfect. Remember that our show is archived on our TFNN site and also in video on livingaprimal.lifestyle.com. So check that out. How's everybody doing today? In the chat room, streaming live on the internet, of course, on the radio, on Tagger TV. Of course, lots happened since I've talked to you last. We had the election, of course. That's all over with, thank God. No more of those ads. Really sick of that stuff. Wish we had a little different system, to tell you the truth. Prop 37 in California did not pass, so no labels for GMOs. And this is very concerning, but really, folks, it's an opportunity for you to now really think about living a primal lifestyle. In other words, start thinking about what's in your food and what's not in your food. And I guarantee you one thing with this passage is that all of your fast food and all your packaged food is going to have your genetically modified organisms in there. That's pretty much a done deal. Now, in my next newsletter, I've got a new movie called The Genetic Roulette. And it's a brand new movie that's coming out on DVD, but I do have a link for it for the full movie. So next week when my new newsletter comes out, that will be in there along with an article telling you what's in that. And basically, it's a real good film, and it really goes into why Monsanto and a few of these other companies, there's really, I think, 3 or 4 companies in the world right now doing massive GMO testing, and they're putting this stuff in our food, not only in our food, but in some of our clothing, and it's causing lots and lots of problems. And the only testing really that's being done here in the United States is by the company themselves. So you need to watch this. It's important to be informed about what's in our food because, after all, food is medicine. There's really not much difference, except that medications tend to be much more powerful. But really, good food is very powerful. That's what keeps us healthy. And so that's why it's so important. So these are really good reasons to go primal. And, the information I'm going to give you on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, but on a daily basis in my newsletter is going to inform you what to watch out for and how to remain healthy. A couple of things else in the news. Our dojo, Gracie Baja Clearwater, is moving. We've been in this warehouse for about 10 years, and it's been a great spot because it's all open air. But we have a brand new building in almost downtown Clearwater. It's on Route 60 called Gulf to Bay, and it's right near Clearwater High School, right behind the Einstein Bagels. It's a beautiful orange building. And we're starting to move in there. And by the 20th, we're going to have our grand opening. Lots of things happening in our grand opening, including, of course, the classes going on. But I'll be talking about primal nutrition, naturally. And lots of other speakers will be there. And, I encourage local people to come by on the 20th. And after that, to experience what we really have to offer at Gracie Barra Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. We're really lucky because we have one of the best teachers, Eduardo de Lima, in the United States. He was one of the first people that the Gracie family sent over to the United States so people could experience what Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is all about. And now, of course, it's taken the world by storm. A great way to learn self-defense, but also a great way just to work out, to meet people that are of the same mindset of you. And Eduardo really got me started, in a sense, on living a primal lifestyle, because he continuously talks about what to put in your body and why you should be doing it and what to stay away from. So it's a really important thing that we learn why society, especially in the Western world, in the United States, is feeding us the way they're feeding us. And it's a political thing. It's large corporations trying to control what we eat. And the end result is not going to be good for the human race. I tell you that. And we see that in our populations, of course, getting worse all the time. Now, I picked up this article just the other day, and this is about a new sweetener. Of course, sugar, we know, is not great for us. So people who have been avoiding sugar, especially the soft drink makers, but a lot of other companies too, have been putting various things over the years into these things to substitute for the sugar. And, of course, we've had lots of problems over the years with different ones, and they've replaced them because of problems that have come up. And this is a new one. This is kind of going to blow your mind, folks, I'm telling you. Okay, remember the advertising for the credit company on TV that asks, what's in your wallet? Well, now we must ask what's in our soft drinks. What are we consuming here? Fructose syrup and other sweeteners made up of genetically manipulated mold, which is what sweet and low is. But there's other ones. Now, PepsiCo has just made a 4-year contract with a company. This company is called, let's see, what is this company called here? I can't see it here on the front page. Anyway, in August 2010, PepsiCo entered into a 4-year agreement, here it is, Cinemex, for the development of artificial high-potency sweeteners for PepsiCo beverages by using aborted fetal cell line called HEK293, human embryonic kidney, for the research and development of flavor enhancers for their beverages. So, when a pro-life group, Children of God for Life, wrote the both companies, requesting that they use several non-objectional lines of their patents, the Cinemex did not respond, but PepsiCo did reply, and they said that their research would produce great-tasting, lower-calorie beverages. There's your answer, folks. It's going to be great tasting. It comes from the kidneys of a aborted fetus, but it's going to taste so good. So it really doesn't matter, does it? The so-called pro-life started a boycott and blah, blah, blah. 2 other pro-life companies are boycotting in Australia, Spain, Germany, Ireland, Scotland, Poland, and the UK. Anyway, other companies are getting on the ball here, and they're also going to have it in the Coke line of drinks and the Nestle line of drinks. So, folks, we're going to have some great new sweeteners on the market. Go out there, maybe stand in line like we did for our voting, and get these products so we can start testing them on ourselves. I think it's a ridiculous thing. I don't even understand drinking soft drinks. I've been away from that stuff so long. But to put any kind of material in a soft drink to sweeten it other than something natural, to me, makes no sense at all. So I'm hoping that you agree with me. And over the years, of course, there's been lots and lots of different kinds of names that they've given sugar. So I thought I'd give you the top 10 of these. First of all, of course, we know sucrose. That's really, when we look at table sugar, it's half sucrose, maybe about 55% sucrose, and the other part of it, about 45% of it, is fructose, which is both are natural sugars, and that's really the combination in it. Now, the second name would be evaporated cane juice. Okay, so this is made from cane syrup, and it's really sweet, and it's really the similar consistency to the same as the sugar is. Agave nectar. Now, this over the last few years has been really promoted as, this really doesn't spike your insulin. Well, that's true, because what it actually is about 85% fructose, and the rest of it is sucrose. Now, the difference between the two is sucrose sends a message to your pancreas to induce the insulin so it can equalize the sugar in it. The fructose part doesn't, it goes straight to the liver. But that impacts another hormone that we talk about often, which is the leptin. And leptin is the signal to your brain, if you remember, that tells you you're hungry or not. Okay, so this affects it even more so. So don't even go near this agave nectar. That's one of the worst products in the world. And now they're selling it in the health food stores. You see it right near the sugar, and a new healthy alternative, they claim. Not so. Another thing, fruit juice concentrate is another one. 100% fruit juice is another thing you'll see. It's basically sugar. High fructose corn syrup, of course, we know what that is. And for high fructose corn syrup has the 55% approximately of the sucrose, of the high fructose, of the fructose, and then the rest is the sucrose. So it's a little bit more going to the liver. It doesn't spike the insulin quite as much, but it's actually fooling your body, and you become insulin resistant and also leptin resistant, so not too good. Blackstrap molasses, organic brown rice sugar, and there's many, many more. Barley malt, golden syrup, dietetic malt, dextrose, poncho, sorghum syrup. There's lots and lots of names for these things that people are putting into the food to sweeten them up. And remember, when you take the fat out of food, which is natural good fat that is in lots of good food that we need to eat, you have to replace it with something, and generally what you replace it with is some kind of sugar or some kind of salt to get the taste up. Okay, so that's pretty much that. Now, my newsletters come out on the first and third Friday of each month. So, when you get these things, it'll take you a month to read this whole thing, because lots of videos are included, lots of information. So really that you can do your own background checking, because it's so important for you to do your own research. And I know everybody's strapped for time. I know how much your time is worth. But if you're not concerned about your own health, nobody else is going to do it for you, folks. And if you're not going to find out for yourself what is actually going wrong with our food and our food system, you're not going to make any changes. So that's why it's important to read this stuff, and that's why I'm bringing it to you. So we're going to be right back, folks. And I think my producer just mentioned that this film, Genetic Roulette, is on YouTube. Yeah, that's where I found it, too. So you can catch it there. So anyway, I'll be back in a couple of minutes. My number here is 877-927-6648, and you give me a call.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now. You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Millionaires are made every day. The fact is, living your dreams is possible. Someone, somewhere is going to get rich. My recommendation is, let that be you. Each day, someone is making the decision to better themselves and creating a plan to fulfill their financial dreams. Let that be you. The key to turning dreams into reality is to take massive action. Let that be you. I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of the Money Master Show with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN, and I can help you with your journey to great wealth. I'll show you how to create the ultimate financial edge, a set of tools, insights, and strategies that are part of my daily newsletter service, Mastering Probability. You'll have direct access to me by phone, email, and my private library of trading and investing secrets for 30 days with an unconditional money-back guarantee. I'll take your trading to the next level. Click on my name, Steve Rhodes, on the homepage at TFNN.com and turn your dreams into reality. Mastering Probability, folks. Let that be you.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Wealth Management. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportions of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley believes a carefully selected portfolio can lower volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what an asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Wealth Management financial advisor can do for you. Call Angela O'Brien, First Vice President and Financial Planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Wealth Management, LLC. Member SIPC.
This segment is brought to you by Great Panther Silver. For more information, just click the Great Panther Silver banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back to the show, folks. It's Nico on Living a Primal Lifestyle. You can call me at 877-927-6648. Of course, that time of year again, folks, when, things get ramped up towards the holidays, and it's really one of my favorite times of year. But, boy, it seems like it's coming faster and faster every year. Doesn't it to you? I mean, I'm 68 years old, and I remember when I was 10 years old, the summer seemed to go on and on and on forever. And now it's so, I mean, even when first time I came to Florida, I remember starting to go through the summer, and I thought, oh boy, here's the heat coming, and it seems so long. But now it just goes by so darn fast. And here we are again, the election's over with, another 4 years gone by, and now we're heading towards Thanksgiving. And it's one of my favorite times of the year because that's usually when I get to see my family, my sister and her husband and her family. And, of course, we go up many times. We go up to see my children up in Michigan, or they come down here. And, this is just always fantastic to see your family. There's just something about family that makes everything great. And another thing you need to do, of course, is looking for some great food to eat. And the holidays brings up many, many opportunities to eat well or not so well. One thing I do encourage you to do, and I've just put in here a little query of organic pasteurized turkey, and let's see what I came up with here. Okay, organic pastured turkey at Grass-Fed Traditions. There's one link. Another one, organic pastured turkey at the local harvest. Another one at Pastures Beyond Organic Whole Turkey. And that's at grassfed.org. Another one, Tropical Tradition. That's a real good place. I get my coconut oil from these people, and they have organic pasture turkey. And I'll tell you why pasture turkeys is really good, or even if you get a wild turkey, that's that are breeding them millions at a time as an organic. My sister always makes sure that we have great organic turkeys through the years. In the last few years, she's gone beyond that, which is the organic pasture raise, which means the turkeys are out there running around like normal turkeys do, and they're digging up their own food. They know what to eat. They know what's best for them. You know, in tests, and in this movie I was talking about that was genetic roulette. And also when they put the feed, two types of feed next to the animals, the one that's a natural feed that they would normally eat, and they put grain next to them, especially GMO grain, they don't even go near it. The only time they do, if it's the only choice they have. So, you know, real important to pick out, and it's just another reason to, you know, recently that every reveals. And this Dr. Nico de Haan undertook the study to compare the effects of junk food and typical Mediterranean meal on the vascular system, including the the lining of the blood vessels. By measuring their function, it's possible to determine how easily the arterioles will dilate after a temporary 5 minutes occlusion following the consumption of two types of meals. This is very interesting analysis researchers to perform. It's closely linked to long-term development of coronary artery disease. The study also revealed that participants with higher blood triglyceride levels seem to benefit more from healthy meals. Their arteries responded better to Mediterranean meal compared with people with low triglyceride levels. We believe that a Mediterranean-type diet may be particularly beneficial for individuals with high triglyceride levels, such as patients with metabolic syndrome, particularly because it can help keep the arteries healthy. So they had several different people eating several different things, and they came up with that if you eat junk food, even one meal will do some damage to your arteries. Something that I already knew, but it's nice to get these little samplings of studies that take place. And believe me, we're having studies more and more and more all around the world talking about why we should introduce healthy fats back into our diet after this 50-year hiatus of eliminating fats, causing all kinds of Parkinson's disease. A person would levels with the opportunities to eat badly if you have that choice, to take another look at your diet and say, hey, I'm going to start right now before the holidays. Not going to wait till January 1st, and that's the way you should do it. Folks, we'll be right back. It's 877-927-6648. Nico de Haan here, living a primal lifestyle.
You've heard on Tiger TV, as well as being featured as a regular CNBC guest and contributor, and now you expert trading advice each morning through his daily trading newsletter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, gives traders, investors, and money managers a thorough strategy for trading stocks, options, and indices every market day. Market Insights comes out each market day before 9:30 a.m. and provides traders with Tom's daily commentary, opinion, and specific trade recommendations on the markets. Using advanced Fibonacci methods, volume indicators, Gartley patterns, candlestick gaps, and market timing, Market Insights will give you specific trade recommendations including entry, stop, and exit today by visiting. Has the current market volatility market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets, it's open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex.com. That's Nadex.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Recently, Basil Chapman has had some outstanding trades in his newsletter, The Opening Call. Each morning by 9 a.m., Basil uploads his newsletter to the TFNN servers so that his subscribers can access his expert trading advice. Basil gives his take on the direction of key indices and updates any active trades that his subscribers are currently in. Just recently, Basil's subscribers closed out a short position in Chipotle Mexican Grill, CMG, for more than an $86 profit per share, over a 20% gain in just one position. If you'd like to check out Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, then visit the front page of TFNN.com and click Trading Newsletters. There you'll find Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, where you can request a free sample copy. Also, don't miss Basil's program, The Tiger Technicians Hour, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, on TFNN.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the Rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now.
This segment is brought to you by Crocodile Gold. For more information, just click the Crocodile Gold banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back to Living a Primal Lifestyle. I'm Nico de Haan here, and my number here is 877-927-6648. Remind you to pick up my Health Signals newsletter. And also, if you have any questions or comments, can't call in, you can reach me at nico@tfnn.com, or you can reach Paige at tfnn.com. I think that's active now. And, of course, all the previous shows are archived on the site. Usually we go back about 6 or 10 shows, I believe. And also same with the newsletter. There's only a certain amount of newsletters. That's why it's important to get these and save them, you know, because that's where you're going to get information to read on and on and on. Of course, the things I'm telling you about here are readily available online if you want to do your own research, and I really do recommend that. And we're up against a lot here, not only, you know, before we were talking about the GMO labeling, and now these companies are not going to have to put anything on a label if it's GMO. So we're going to find a lot of things that are being manufactured now as far as manufactured food. And that's why it's so important, folks, not to eat this crap. Do away with your chips, all that stuff that comes in a bag, and all these cookies and candies and things that you get. If you're going to eat that stuff, make them homemade, make them the way we did traditionally. You're going to be way better off. You don't have to go full primal like I am, but there is a good reason to do that. So, and here's another thing we're up against, because I did a little query this morning on the web saying, what if I have high cholesterol? What do I do? So, first thing that popped up, here's a 6-step low cholesterol diet plan. The low cholesterol diet plan was created to reduce a person's cholesterol levels. When low cholesterol diet plan becomes a lifetime habit, it can become very effective, blah, blah, blah. The steps to take. Cholesterol can be found only in foods from animals and not from plant foods. Reduce the amount of meat in your meals and increase the amount of whole grains and vegetables to compensate if needed. Replace pork, beef, or lamb in your meals with fish or chicken. Wrong, wrong, wrong. Okay, number 2, low cholesterol diet plan, step 2. The fats underneath chicken skin, lard, bacon fat, or fat from a piece of prime rib or beef are saturated fat, and they're considered bad fats because they increase LDL cholesterol. This is so wrong, folks. because I eat the chicken fat. This is good for you if it comes from the animals that eat their natural food. It is, yes, if you eat this crap that's going on at most of these big chicken farms, you're right. I mean, they're way out of whack because their omega-6 to 3 ratio is probably 25, 35 to 1, 6 to 3 ratio. And the normal ratio for a healthy animal is 3 to 1 to 1 to 1 ratio. And that's what we really need. So it depends on the animal, of course. Reduce saturated fat in meat, it says here. Choose lean cuts of meat. Beef cuts, which are lean, are sirloin, chuck, and round. Pork cuts are lean, are the loin chops. Lamb cuts are lean, are from the loin, arm, and leg. Select USDA grade A beef and blah, blah, blah. And these cuts are leaner than prime. I would care to differ with you. I like the fatty meats. I like a good ribeye that has the great fats in it. And I do get it, of course, grass-fed. That's essential. And not only grass-fed, folks, but grass-finished. That's the key. Everybody knows, especially farmers know, that they'll finish off. Yeah, they'll raise them out in the wild for a while. Then they'll bring them in the last 6 weeks because they want more bang for their buck. They want to get the most out of what they've raised, so they want to fatten them up. And the way they fatten them up, they start feeding them grain. Grain skews that ratio of omega-6 to omega-3. So you don't want that. You want the meat. It's going to have less fat in it, but the fat that's in it is good. It's going to be real good, tasty meat. So you need that. Bake or broil rather than frying meat. That's probably true. I would recommend that. There's nothing wrong with frying. I love a fried turkey. But, you know, you have to use good oil. You have to use either saturated fat or some great oil that you can heat to a pretty good temperature. There's not a lot of oils that do that. Saturated fat is one of them. Most companies will use peanut oil for that, one of the worst oils you can use. It says here, bake or broil meat over a rack and let the fat drain off. Well, that's fine. Before cooking, trim all the visible fat from the meat. I do not do that. I leave the fat on there. Enhances the flavor. It makes the meat taste better, and also you're getting that healthy fat that we always talk about. Place homemade stews and soups in the refrigerator after cooking, and then solidified fat can be skimmed off the top. This is the same for canned soup that contain fat. I tend not to do that. I want my fat in my soups. That's the reason I'm eating the darn things. I'm not eating it for just the water content of it. I want the fat in there, and of course the protein from the meat and some great nutrients from your vegetables. Of course, I don't put any grains in them. So, you know, I'm not going to go down that road. Choose chicken or turkey instead of goose or duck. Wrong. Goose or duck are fabulous. If you ever had a goose in the holidays, and if it's cooked properly, that's just some of the best tasting stuff there is. It's good and fatty, and it's very, very tasty, and that fat is so good for you. Take the skin off the chicken and turkey before cooking. Wrong. We don't want to do that. We want that fat in there. Avoid processed meats, which is usually high in saturated fat. I avoid processed meat not because it's high in saturated fat. I avoid processed meat because it's processed, because there's other steps in there, and I don't know what usually they've been in there. If I want a sausage or something like that, I make sure I get it from a source. I know what they're putting in there. And believe me, there's a lot of good ones out there. If you are on a cholesterol-lowering diet plan, eat organ meats such as liver, kidney, and brain. They very seldom are high in cholesterol. True and very good for you. Okay, so here's some step 3 low cholesterol plan. Reduce the amount of dairy fat. The fats in butter, milk, and cream are saturated fats. Use low fat or skim milk or fat-free. Use low fat cottage cheese. Again, wrong. The reason we eat dairy products is for the fat, not so much for the protein. And if you're going to use dairy products, I recommend highly that you get them raw, get them from a source where you know the source quite well. You can get them from the health food store, but if you can get directly from the farmer or for somebody else that's producing it, I recommend you do that. Low cholesterol plan number 4. Increased consumption of solid fiber found in whole grains helps to lower cholesterol. Good sources of dietary fiber are oatmeal, oat bran, kidney beans, Brussels sprouts, pears, and apples. And use brown rice instead of white rice to cook. And use whole grain pasta. This is all misinformation, folks. As you know now, that it's just all bad information. Your whole grains are actually worse than the other grains because you're getting all the protections in the seeds that protect the seed from being eaten. Your phytic acid and the proteins that are really hard to digest. So if you're going to use any rice, I would recommend just throw a little white rice in your soup if you want, or mix some potatoes, real well-cooked potatoes. And you can use some of those things. Okay, number 4 is trans fat act like saturated fat, raising LDL cholesterol. Now, this is a right thing partially. Trans fat are like saturated fat. In a sense, they are kind of like saturated fat, except these trans fats are made usually from grains. They're usually made from beans or grains, soybeans, that type of thing, and they're really grain seed oils, and they are very bad for you. They go rancid very quickly, especially when they're heated. Not recommended to use at all on a primal diet. Some margarines also have trans fat. All margarines have trans fat, folks. Choose soft margarines over the harder ones. It doesn't make any difference. Don't use that stuff. Don't substitute good. If you cannot use the dairy form of butter, then use some kind of oil that your body is used to and will work with you. Do not use these Criscos and your margarines and things like that. Number 5 is reduce the amount of egg consumed. Use the whites of the eggs instead of the yolks. Well, the whites, of course, are strictly protein. The yolks are fat, good saturated fat, good omega-3s in there, good polyunsaturated fats in there. Really highly recommend that you eat the yolks. If you're going to choose one over the other, I'd sooner choose the yolk. It tastes good. It's good for you. I have 3 eggs every single morning, practically, of my life. Monounsaturated fats that help reduce cholesterol, and they recommend using canola oil, olive oil, and peanut oil. They're all great. Now, that's not true at all. Olive oil, yes. Maybe avocado oil, yes. Not too many others around that are that good for you. So, this is some of the stuff we're battling out here. All this information about cholesterol, and they say you got to raise the HDLs and lower the LDLs. Well, there's actually in LDLs. There's actually 2 parts to it. There's the A part and the B part, and one of those, and I think it's the B part, which is even heavier, is actually very, very good for you, and it's a part of cholesterol that we need to do lots of repairs. It's that slow-acting cholesterol that hangs around and patches things up for us. So yeah, we need the HDLs, and we also need some of those LDLs. So it's not a very good read when we talk about what our doctors are using as indicators for us. Another article I read here, and this is quite interesting. A recent study was the first to evaluate the long-term cardioprotective qualities of daily apple consumption in post-menopausal women. And my wife does use an apple a day. She does that, and there's lots of information in here. This study was randomly assigned 160 women aging 45 to 65. One of 2 dietary intervention groups. One received dried apples, and the other ate dried prunes for every day for a year. And they took blood samples, and they concluded that the apple consumption led to a lower lipid hydroperoxide levels and C-reactive proteins in these women. And what that actually means is that they're going to lower their LDL cholesterol, especially the LDL-A version of it. So just by consuming an apple a day, and of course apples have lots of good things in them, and they don't have, even though it does have some fructose in it, it's not going to impact you because it does have some fiber in it. And you can make good choices like this. You don't have to go overboard. But the type of fructose that you consume in say a Pepsi-Cola or a Coca-Cola or just the fruit juice itself will not impact you the same way as something like a fresh piece of fruit, especially a nice apple. So eat your apples, folks. It's good. And right now I'm drinking my Tiger Brew here. And I have a little Tiger Brew every day. And, it's really good for you. And here's some reasons to drink coffee. And I thought I'd just name them off for you. First of all, diabetes protection. Regular coffee drinking is associated with a striking protective effect against diabetes risk, greater than 60% in some studies. Pretty good, huh? Hydration. It's a total fallacy that caffeinated drinks such as coffee have a diuretic effect and dehydrate the body. It's yet another example of fictitious nutrition myth. And people who consume regularly caffeinated drinks such as coffee hydrate the body and count perfectly well towards your daily fluid intake. And that's something. It's a brain protector. This is a growing research that coffee drinkers have protection against neurological diseases such as Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. Number 4, they have antioxidants and phytonutrients. The classic mistake is to think that caffeine, doesn't have these properties. There's a virtual treasure chest of naturally occurring antioxidants and beneficial phytonutrients, notably rich in these types of acids that are in blueberries, in green tea. They all have that same antioxidant protection. Another thing is a liver protectant. This weird and wonderful word of detoxing decreases the absentee from toxins entering your body. So it's very ironic that people have stressed about getting rid of their coffee, and when they could actually have coffee to help the liver. It also it reduces food cravings. So that's another good thing. There's a couple other things in here, but I thought it was pretty interesting. And, of course, I'm a big fan of coffee, but, of course, you have to drink the good stuff, folks. It's going to be a little more expensive, but you don't have to drink much of it. And, of course, if you put some good butter in it or some good oil. In fact, my wife is experimenting because she can't use butter. She can't use any of the type of oils that are saturated fat. So she's going to try olive oil in it and see how that works for her. And I throw a little honey in there in the evening if I'm having my coffee. And in fact, yesterday what I did is I throw a little protein chocolate powder in there, just a little bit with that. And I threw some other goat cheese butter and I really buttered it up the other day. And boy, it was just so satisfying. I wasn't hungry for hours, folks. It was just tremendous. Just living off the fat of the land, my own body. I love it. Isn't that great? Okay, we'll be right back for the last segment, folks. It's still 877-927-6648. I will be right back.
If you're an investor looking for a great weekly investment newsletter, then now is the perfect time to try out Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Every Tuesday, Ken breaks down multiple sectors in his weekly newsletter, Ultimate Growth Stocks, with a full in-depth report including specific trading recommendations within his model portfolio, charts, sector analysis, upcoming economic data, along with intra-week trading updates on newsletter positions whenever the market dictates. Right now, you can receive a full month, that's 30 days, to evaluate Ken's newsletter free of charge to see if it fits your trading plan. At less than $75 per month, Ken provides you with his expert trading advice that can pay for itself in no time. Take advantage of this great offer by signing up for a 30-day free trial to Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks today. Don't let this offer pass you by. Visit the front page of TFNN.com and sign up now.
With the launch of Tiger TV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Ken Shreve, David White, Larry Pesavento, Victor Jones, or Carol Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
On Living a Primal Lifestyle, last segment here, and of course I'm alone this week, but next week Paige is going to be back with me, so we'll see what she's been up to, and I'm sure she'll have lots of fascinating information for us, because she's a world of knowledge in that gal, I'll tell you. So I miss her when she's not here. One of the things we need to do really this time of year, because tension's a little high, anxiety, we've got family, we've got Christmas coming up, traveling a little bit more, is really to take some time for yourself. And I think this is one of the real important things that I learned in life. Thankfully, many, many years ago, I enjoy my alone time. My wife is out of town this weekend, and it gives me time to really have a little more quiet time and go for some walks. And since the weather's changing here, I've stopped swimming because the pool basically is just too darn cold. So I'm starting my daily runs now. So I go for a little short run, maybe a couple of miles, and maybe do a little sprinting in that. But that really gives me some time by myself. I also like to go for some long walks, or just sit in the back porch. And being part of nature is something that's inherent in being a human being. And I really value that. So if you don't take time for yourself, you're really missing out. Whether it's just being in a room alone. A lot of times, my wife, we have kind of a little different schedule in the morning. I tend to wake up very early, and she wakes up later. So I have that couple of hours in the morning to kind of just be by myself and lounge around. At the same time, I go to bed a little bit earlier, and she has that extra hour or so in the evening where she's alone, and kind of just gives you some really good quality time to spend by yourself, and to, I just think it's something that we need. But another bonus is being out in nature. So if you can spend that time outside quietly, there's a lot of things that open up for you, especially if you can find a nice park where you can hear some of the things that go on in nature, whether it's the water when you're down at the beach, or, whatever. And I know a lot of people had problems this week, these past couple of weeks, with the storms that they've had out in the Northeast, and I hope, that a lot of our listeners are safe and sound out there. And it's tough when nature sends its fury out to us. But, that's beings really are, I think, best at helping each other. So this is where I think we come in. It's also where I think the government can play a good role for us. I think my personal view is our government should be our insurance policy. I would love to see all the insurance companies do away with, being insurance companies and go into some other business and let the government handle that part of it. Because, there's nothing better than a community coming together and sharing some problem and solving it together. And certainly when there's damage in a community, that's one way of doing it. Building roads is another way. There's a lot of things that government can do right, and there's many things, of course, that the government seems to be doing wrong. So, and that's why we have elections and things like that. I'd rather be no government and us be on our own, because I think I can take care of myself. But that's just not the way it is, and that's not being realistic. So, I think the important thing to do right now, folks, is kind of reset yourself, accept what's happened, and let's go on from here. And let's build a better life for us. And we can do that on an individual level the best. You, your family, your friends are touched by the activities that you do, by the way you think, by the way you act. That's how we can influence other people and show people, here's the path. Here's what I'm doing. People ask me all the time, what do you do? What do you eat? How can you stay active? How come you look so good? And this is the way we can do it, by passing on this knowledge to people. Yeah, I'm going to do the things the right way. So, hope I've helped you. Thanks for sticking around. We'll be back next week. Paige will be back. You guys have a great, great weekend, and I'm looking forward to the holidays. See you later.